Editing Echo here with the cats to give you a preface to this episode. This week we're posting some bonus content that was originally made purely for the patrons. You can join the Patreon for access to bonus content and live streams, by the way. What happened was the audio of the episode we had planned was kind of unsalvageable. It tasted like dog food and chalk, the works. It was bad. We do hope to get another interview with this person in the future, hopefully with some better mics and maybe some better reception. But because we're behind on recordings, because I was busy, I had a show, and I didn't want to leave you with nothing, you're getting this bonus content instead. Love you, bye. Whee!
Either God will allow us to succeed or he won't.
Yeah. I mean, God's a bitch sometimes. Anyway, welcome to Work in Progress.
Welcome.
Yes, this is gonna be like bonus content for the Patreon because I feel like it needs more content than just that one video of me talking to myself for a long time. Context for that, there's a video of me talking to myself for a long time because Cyrus was busy and I was under the assumption he was asleep, but he was busy, and so I was like doing a whole video by myself. I kind of just like, I was like, how's your day, no one? It was sad. Very sad. Yes, indeed. So, I brought a piece that I could read. Does anyone else want to go first? Or do we just want to hang out? What are we doing today, guys?
I think since you're our illustrious host, it's only fair that you go first to set the stage.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. Let's see if my tabs stayed open. They did! This is my notorious piece. It's notorious to me and me alone because I keep reusing it for various sharing opportunities in classes, creative writing classes, and random things because it's just fun to read. It's called TFW, Your Boyfriend is an Ad Executive. Excuse me. That wasn't part of it. That was me being dramatic. It's a set price, Monty murmured, curls falling into his face as his head retracted between his shoulders. Look, the guy said, waving the vase haphazardly, man to man. I'm strapped for cash right now, and oh my gosh, my cat just ran in, like, sorry. I'm gonna start over, maybe. Panther! You can't do that. I'm recording. Okay. I don't know if she'll pick up on the audio, but she is meowing. She's stuck in the cord. Cat! I need to shoo her away, actually. Oh, no, not that way. Go outside. Shoo. She doesn't want to shoo, actually. Go outside. You're annoying. Yes, you are annoying. Okay, she wants to be on my lap now. Hold on. Up, tail against the mic. We love that. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna try to keep her tail away from the microphone. No, you can't go on the desk.
Good to have you back in the world of the living.
Yes, I'm back. Or I assume that you were talking to me. It's a set price, Monty murmured, curls falling into his face as his head retracted between his shoulders. Look, the guy said, waving the vase haphazardly. Man to man, I'm strapped for cash right now, and he talked from the side of his mouth. I'm trying to impress the lady. Could you do a guy a favor? Say $20? The woman who had come with him was inspecting some of the jewelry displayed at the next stand. Monty looked to the ground to avoid the man's eyes. I'm strapped for cash too. Well, then we can help each other, he said with a simper. I wasn't going to buy this thing anyway. It's for her. So you get my business and I get the vase. We both win. I don't... Monty's foot pulled back. He realized he'd been inching away. Hey. Reed sauntered up and cut the air between the two. What's going on here? The man spoke up, flicking his hand at Monty. This guy's ripping me off and my... Oh no, my other cat has the zoomies. This guy's ripping off me and my girl for a piece of shit. Reed's face became waxy smooth except for the squint creasing the corner of his eyes. Not to objectify the self-servient woman you seem to think is your property, but all ownership comes with a price, my friend, and as I don't see a ring on that finger, I'm suspecting you're trying to cheat that fine woman out of a proper monetary exchange. I mean, Jesus Christ, taking her to scavenge a farmer's market for a date? Time is money, and I'm thinking her time is not convertible in your eyes. She deserves something. Well, I was gonna get her this vase, but this guy, he nodded a furrowed brow at Monty, is charging way too... What, you mean this independent contractor? Reed cut in, resting a hand on Monty's shoulder. Are you telling me you disrespect the free labor market to the point you'll forget about the contractual expenses of having a job like this? Monty pursed his lips, watching through the tangle of curls that fell from his lowered head. You don't have to do this, he wanted to say. He felt his boyfriend's reassuring squeeze at the base of his arm. Look at this vase, Reed continued, gesturing. That's a fine piece of craftsmanship, made with the efforts of an independent, hand-sculpted to prevent the unavoidable assembly line damage and discrepancies, and that takes time. Time is the most important part of the process here. Consider the 8 to 5 that gets you factory-made bullshit. He's working overtime, not to mention the issues of product costs. That's ceramic, gloss, paint, all the materials, and time, plus paying off the expenses of the stall and taxes and all the necessity to survive in this economy. But this is on sale, man. That's the cheapest he can go where he can break even and even have any sort of financial benefit. This is a business, and he's not here to give you money. He's a worker. His time is your money, and frankly, you've been loitering here for a while, harassing him and wasting his time, so we need to rectify this. You should be buying this at its full price, $54, just for this man to break even from the physicality of this interaction. The customer looked between the two of them. Reed was resting his arm on Monty's shoulder now, then shoved the vase into Reed's chest. He had to scramble to keep it from crashing against the pavement. Monty watched the man leave, taking the girl by the arm and guiding her further into the crowd. His limbs sagged with something that couldn't have been relief, maybe exhaustion. He turned away and lumbered back behind the fold-out table. Reed looked after him, still holding tightly to the vase. You're a problem, Monty muttered, pressing his forehead into his hands. That's it. The end. Can you meow for the mic, please?
Meow.
Oh, wait, I wasn't talking to you, but... Meow. Meow. Everybody meow for the mic, please.
I think it was an interesting piece.
I like to read really fast, so that was fun.
I think even aside from your reading voice, it's a very fast-paced piece. It's very much frenetic, and it's trying to be in a rush, much like the characters are.
Thank you. I think it's so funny for him to just talk a bunch of business nonsense at this guy, and this guy's just like, bye. It didn't even work. He was just being a bitch for no reason. I like
It's like a
these
fight you
characters.
hear. It's like a fight you hear outside the food court of a dying mall.
Yeah. Also, in the final piece, his name might not be Reed, because he's one of the main characters of this romance I'm writing. This queer romance between Ricky, who is aka Monty, because he changes his name for a little while because he's figuring out his identity, and Reed. And I've gotten way too much feedback that Ricky and Reed are hard to read. Their names, it's confusing because they both start with R and they're both kind of like similar length names, and so it gets confusing. So I'm probably gonna rename him, but his non-canonical name is Reed, and probably his canonical name will be Osmond.
Sounds like a good name. Reminds me of a very nice snack.
Does it? Cool. Which snack?
Stuffed olives.
Oh. He's kind of like a stuffed olive. No, I don't know why I said that. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think that's true.
The great Mary Robinette Kowal once said, in the theater business, there's a phrase, you can either fix it or you can feature it, and I think, in this case, it would be extremely wise to feature Mr. Little Oswald seeming like a stuffed olive.
That's very funny, and I will try my best to include it, but I don't know in what context anyone would think that about him. Maybe if he was like wearing like a round costume. I don't know. They'd be like, it's almost like a stuffed olive. No, I don't have any context for why he would be like that. Also, having never eaten stuffed olives. Don't put your head on the microphone. No, thank you.
Listen. Go to your nearest grocery store. Get yourself a $3.25 can of stuffed olives and go to town. You will thank me later.
Should I do it right now or later?
You can do it now if you want to ruin the recording, but, if you don't want to, you can certainly do it later.
Oh, okay, I'll do it later. Good idea. Does anyone want to go next? Or, oh my gosh, I have so much cat hair on my nice shirt. I'm dressed today like, kind of, no, don't get on my lap again. Okay, I'm kind of dressed like my parents are going through a post-season 2 inevitable divorce, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. One person will know what I'm talking about. Okay, does anyone want to go next?
I've been writing something for my side project today, if you want to hear it.
Sure.
I'm soaping up and getting it ready.
Okay, I'll ad-lib real quick. Carrots, am I right? Haha. Those little orange things. Quite a phallic shape, if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself. And rabbits, they love that stuff. Do rabbits actually, like, in the wild eat carrots? Or is that just a thing that cartoons made me believe, that they eat carrots all the time? Where were carrots born? Which country or place were carrots made? Where are they native to? Do we know?
Central Asia.
Whoa, I was not expecting a real answer. I was expecting not an answer. That's cool.
And I don't think rabbits usually eat fruits or vegetables in the wild.
Yeah, I think that's just a Bugs Bunny thing. That you're like, they love carrots. Doc? What does he say? What's up, Doc? I'm tired. I didn't drink
Yeah,
coffee today.
they're basically eat grass and even like bark off trees if available.
Delicious. Bark.
Yeah,
Bark, bark.
yeah. It's kind of like TV kind of warps people's perception on animals and whatnot. Channels all this time.
Yes. I agree. Agreement noise. Did you find your piece?
Yes, I'm trying to. Sorry, it's in the Scrivener file. I'm just trying to
Oh, I hope
arrange it.
those Discord noises don't end up on the. I guess they will. Do you know how to mute the Discord sounds? Oh, great.
I'm gonna see if I can at least mute it a little bit. I'm going to user settings and
Ooh.
fiddling with it.
Oh, there's a thing that's under notifications, and it says you can disable desktop notifications. So hopefully that will make it not come on my end. Oh wait, enable same channel message notification. There's also sounds. Oh, I have it already disabled. Under sounds. Under notifications and then sounds, you can disable all notification sounds. Nice.
Alright, is that better?
Well, I'm not hearing them, so that's good.
Alright, cool. This side project is about a cosmic horror writer. He suffers a breakdown and he tries to he hears about this town in the southern United States that's allegedly populated by giant monsters, and so he just does it. I don't know, maybe he's trying to relax, or maybe he's trying to also regain his love for writing. And except he's there, except it's not like scary at all. It's not like Tower in Smith. It's like a bunch of giant monsters with like superhuman strength and invulnerability, and they're just trying to like live their lives.
Very cool.
Alright, you want me to start reading now?
Yeah.
Cassandra and her boyfriend Daniel were jauntily walking down the street with some bags and containers. Trailing behind them, seemingly embarrassed by the other two giant monster people, was writer Lord Cyrus Clark. Please tell me again why we are at this god-forsaken business park, he asked as the trio approached the car station. Because I promised my pal Janet to get her lunch as a celebration for her promotion and raise, Cassandra chirped as she skipped down the street, her immense presence slightly rumbling the ground. Also, you need to get out of that apartment, she said flatly. This is the last place I need to be, he hissed. I came here to recover from my nervous breakdown, not have another one. Lawrence's mind flickered back to the article he saw online. Upstart cosmic horror writer suffers catastrophic meltdown, flees to dirt town in Texas. No way, said Cassandra, putting her hands on her giant hips. I know damn well you'll go back to writing your fucked up little books when you're supposed to be resting. Lawrence sneered as he looked at the side of the other employees gawking at the skinny man, whispering that they'd never seen a human so pale and sickly. You can't just lock yourself up in your room writing scary and weird things while missing out on life. I'm nervous about getting out too, said Daniel, brushing his black hair and smoothing out his red fur. It's gonna be nice to see Annie again. You're taking one step at a time, and I'm so proud of you, Cassandra replied cheerily, hugging Daniel. Lawrence rolled his eyes. The giant raccoon security guard woman checked their IDs in her computer. Yep, you guys are cleared for luncheon. For your luncheon, she said. By the way, you are only allowed on the outside patio. Please refrain from entering the building. She brought a large rock and began to press it. To Lawrence's horror, the security guard lady crushed the rock like a wet cardboard box. Enjoy your stay at Big Mean Monster Queen Industries. Cassandra and Daniel led Lawrence to the patio, reserved in pink flowery tape. She should be here right now, Cassandra pondered. Almost on cue, a large wolf lady walked out to the patio. Like Cassie, she had toned arms and a chubby body, but the wolf lady wore a bulky protective suit, which exaggerated her figure. She squeezed and grunted as she became slightly stuck in the door. Her stalwart face began overcome with worry. Her eyes became watery. Oh, Jan, it's okay, said Cassandra, shoving a bag of food onto Lawrence. The giant ogre woman dashed at the wolf woman and grabbed her by her hips. Janet pulled herself forward as Cassie pulled at the suit. A large pop had echoed. A large pop sound echoed from the patio as Janet was freed. She quickly regained her composure upon noticing Daniel Lawrence's gaze. Her suit wobbled a little as she regained her balance. A large and enormous man waved as he walked through the larger door next to the one Janet struggled to get through. Don't feel too bad. I forget to use the other door all the time, said the enormous man, giving Janet a warm pound on the shoulder. I'm fine, she growled in a hushed tone. Despite her angry expression, she reciprocated her coworker's attempt to comfort her by leaning into him and giving him a side hug. We got your lunch, Cassandra cheerily said, displaying all the food she and Daniel prepared. Janet's mood lined up and she quickly saw her favorite food. Grilled chicken wraps with rice cauliflower, said the wolf woman, her eyes wide with excitement. Cass, you shouldn't have. Also, seeing how big she is, maybe you should. Lord started until Daniel covered his mouth and Cassandra shot him an ugly look. You're going to behave yourself today, she hissed at a threatening tone. I want the both of you to get along to make up for last time. Daniel shuddered as he remembered when Janet accidentally bumped into Lawrence, prompting him to insult her weight and hips. Janet stared blankly at her friend's manic state before sighing and directing them towards a table. I'm surprised that scrawny bean pill even eats, she muttered as Lawrence sat in his place. Annie gently rolled up a newspaper and bonked her gently on the head, irritating her. What was that for? She hissed. You're going to behave yourself too, Annie said flatly. Jan muttered to herself, but ultimately relaxed. She didn't get these types of lunches with her non-work friends often. The meals were neatly placed and everyone set themselves up for a nice lunch. Annie took a seat, bouncing slightly due to his bulky suit. Jane did the same, plopping herself down in the chair. Laura struggled to bounce a good 3 inches off her seat before landing again. She grabbed the table to stop herself from wobbling and bouncing again. Cassandra once again peered at Lawrence in fear of what thoughtless thing he would say at the spectacle, however his eyes to be staring straight down his journal. He was hunched over and writing, and she let out a small sigh of relief as the atmosphere seemed to calm down. I thought you were on break, Janet said to Lawrence, making air quotes.
Oh, is that all?
Was that a bit too much?
Oh no, I was surprised. I was surprised how it ended because like I wasn't expecting it to end there. I was expecting more.
It's about. Oh no, this is the final paragraph. Lawrence tried to say something, but went back to writing. Deep down inside, she was 100% right. He remembered the downspell that led to his public meltdown. Friends and even family constantly tried to reach out as utility companies sent him further and more urgent messages to pay for their services. Days of not going outside, or even eating or sleeping. And that's all I have for now.
Nice. I like.
It's a pretty interesting story. I really like it. It has a lot of potential.
Yeah. I like how you're setting up the characters as just like a very casual, just like a regular like scene. I can already see some dynamics happening there with Lawrence and is it Janet? Sorry, I don't have the text in
That's
front of
it.
me. Um, yeah, I thought it was fun. I'm excited to see more from them.
Thanks. I've been super focused on my main project, but I figured, I wanted to give something a bit shorter, more digestible than my project that has like six, like 1,000 word short stories in it.
Fair enough. Couldn't be me. My all my projects are like so long.
Again, I'm working on my long-term project. I got a bunch of artwork done for it last night, Saturday.
Cool.
I really admire the fact you're trying to do art for your project. I used to be a bit of an artist, but I had to put it down a few years ago and haven't been able to pick it up ever since.
Oh no.
Yeah, my main project, my Valiant Warrior Squadron project, first started as a web comic, but then as time went by, it just became like comics are hard, and as are web comics, they're very labor consuming. Well, not time consuming, and they can be labor intensive with the amount of art needed. And truth be told, I had started my story in like the middle of the story. So after I also got back from feedback with the storyboard artist, who said that my main uh, strength was writing, I agree with it. And on my own volition, I rebooted my project, starting it from kind of like a more beginning place, and more focusing on the art rather than the writing. I even slashed the amount of illustrations in half as I went on, just so I could get the damn thing out and finished. But I think it was for the best for me, as I'm able to polish what art I do have in it.
That's good. I mean, yeah. We've talked about this before, me and you. So I don't have new things to add.
Yeah, in the dark, dark reaches of my past, I had a Homestuck fan club going on for almost 2 years
Ooh.
before the forums unexpectedly shut down. Never went back up since. Yeah, it was very much a steep, steep learning experience, and it taught me a lot about the intricacies of the internet that I'm never going to forget.
Oh no. I mean, that could be good, but it's probably bad. I escaped.
Also, I have a work in progress of my own if anyone is interested.
Yes.
It's
Oh yeah.
I started it in February of 2022 after reading a few nonfiction articles about environmental spillover. It's not complete, but I think the pieces it has already set in place have a lot of potential.
Cool.
Are either of you interested?
Oh yeah, I already said yeah. Sorry. I thought you were about to read it.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you need us to vamp while you find it? How about tomatoes? What is up with those things?
Oh, have I been cutting off recently?
Oh, did you respond to that? I didn't hear anything yet.
No, I didn't hear you either, so could you repeat your question? I believe my connection dropped.
Oh, I said, do you need us to vamp while you find it?
No, I've had it open ever since this began, so it's perfectly ready.
Okay, go for it.
Just give me one moment though. I'm gonna switch from text to speak, from push to talk to just standard, so I don't have to be hammering down my tab key the entire time.
Smart.
Alright, can you both hear me?
Yas.
Alright, great, and here it begins. This is my February 2022 short story inspired by a few nonfiction works about environmental spillover and how eventually, by declaring one area so full of foul people you're willing to let the area itself be fouled, eventually it will catch up to you. Marie once tried to explain it to her like this. Bodies try to live at all costs, no matter how broken or battered. All a body wants to do is keep on living. So the city, being a swarm of bodies, would do much the same. Even after war, even after the Empire's takeover, even after disaster after disaster, some people, I had to train herself, out of thinking them as some bodies, chose to leave, running to greener pastures where a cousin or uncle had already lived for years after realizing they could no longer live in the city themselves. But the hardy few, as Marie called them, continued to live in the city, even after the tenements had burned to the ground or dramatically collapsed like cement fainting ladies, even after service was shut down, even when more weeds than wheat grew around the city, and even when radiation began to twist and warp the very bodies of the hardy few. Aya thought it was just a pretty nickname to hide a harsh truth. The only people left in the city had nowhere else to go, no one to run to. Aya herself was included. With her twisted spine and the half-formed third eye in place of her left eyebrow, she was marked as the product of the city, and no one outside it would take her. People feared products of the city. It was said they were made of the very radiation, that it sat in their very bones and made their blood glow, and no one had genes so perfect they could override their countless defects and maladies. if they dared to touch something the city had wiggled its fingers into. Aya tried not to think too hard about that side of the human lifespan. After all, as one of the few morticians in a dying city, she had her hands full. There was a loading bay in the back of the building Marie and Aya had long ago labeled their own, and every day tens of the city's citizens shuffled through on little metal beds, a few more cells of the city's body shriveling up and decaying. Today there was an unusual body in the bay, a living one, a breathing one, a clean one, dressed up like it was from anywhere but this city. Aya stopped in her tracks when she saw him, upright in a sea of people lying down, her hands freezing in place on her apron strings. Hello? Uh, excuse me. She blinked once, then twice, then tilted her head this way and that as if she could do she was a mirage. Hello? She tied her apron and stepped into the fog-dispersed sunlight, narrowing her eyes at the man, still waiting for the sickly yellow rays to shine right through him. Hello? He said, following her as she walked around him in a circle. You're alive, she muttered offhandedly, then jabbed him with her finger. And you're meaty? Yes, he said, then coughed briskly into his elbow. Yes, I suppose I'm alive? Aya kept glaring at him, waiting for the punchline to whatever joke he was trying to make. I'm guessing you don't get a lot of visitors. Not upright ones. She kept staring at him. He kept waiting. I was sent here for work, he finally supplied. No one gets sent here for work, Aya said, placing as much emphasis as she could on the word here. Well, I was. You were? She couldn't help but feel she should have said, were you, with its more skeptical tone. Yes, I was, placing as much emphasis on was as he could. Aya finally caught the line he'd been throwing to her over and over and changed her tune. Oh, I see. Well, who were you? She asked, then realized how rude she might have seemed to a non-city body. Uh, sorry. She did an apologetic little hand wave. We don't get many visitors here, so I was wondering you know, who the Empire is willing to kick out, he says, his tone half annoyance, half accusation. Yes, actually. Wow, you catch on way faster than I thought. I'm flattered, he said, unfurling his knife roll. Um, we don't need that, she said, pointing to his little knife roll. We don't do autopsies around here. He looked at her with confusion. No autopsies. Then how do you find out the cause of death? What do you put on the death certificate? What do you tell the families? We don't? She raised her real eyebrow. Why not? How would we? We don't have the we don't have anything we need to do that. We don't have the table space, or the water, or the electricity, or even the nice paper to make the certificates. Besides, everyone knows what you die of around here. You die of the city. Simple as that. That's all that there is to this short story, so I hope you enjoyed.
I did! That was really
Also
interesting.
enjoyed it.
I was getting into it. I want to know. I want to know why this Watson character appeared at the door. I don't know why I was picturing him as Watson from Sherlock Holmes, but like in like a pinstriped black suit. that was that was what I was picturing for some reason. And
I mean, it's an interesting way to think of it. I wasn't thinking of that, but it's always exciting to share your story and see what other people get from it.
I want to know why he's there, what he did. I'm excited. Very good story. I really liked it. I really liked the characterization of both characters. His like confusion and his confusion combined with like I don't know what's like exasperation combined with like defeat I could like feel in the way he talked. Not like the way you I mean the way you read it as well, but like also just like what he said. It's like, really? And I thought it was very cute the little head tilts when she was like examining him. It really says a lot about their city, about her life in general, that she immediately was like, oh, it's a mirage.
Yeah, I really like to write my stories environment first. I always like to say that the setting is the secret biggest character, and this was really written. With this, I really tried to take a concept and turn it into an environment to best serve the metaphor. I'd actually recently finished reading The Sum of Us by Heather Gaines, I believe, and I was just really struck by the concept of environmental spillover that she introduced, and how, in America, our environment is actively worse because we're willing to let it be because we make the people we disrespect the most live in those places. So we're willing to let it get as bad as possible, so long as we think it's hurting someone we think deserves it. Unlike other countries where their environmental cleanup efforts are way better because they respect everyone the same amount.
Damn. We suck, huh?
I really wanted to do something expanding on that idea, and I made it as small as possible so I could just work in a simple way to get the metaphor across of they let this city get so bad that it's finally starting to backfire on them.
Mm, that's very interesting. I want to know more. I want all the lore. But I do appreciate that you're kind of like confining this whole entire world into like one little room, one little dialogue exchange. It's very nice and very it's a it's an awesome way to like get so much across with so little like actual like exploration. It's very cool.
Yes, it's a very grim setting you're setting up.
I love myself a grim setting. I think it's so much more interesting to describe like shitty things than like cool things or like nice put together like unless it's like a weird sterile white hospital, it's like not that interesting to describe like a suburban house. It's more interesting to be like the house has like moss growing up the side of it and a chipped window and like imperfections are more interesting and easier to like give character to things through their imperfections than like I like to think of it as like you don't you don't really notice that the road is good until there's a pothole and you have something to complain about. This is a great road. You go, oh, there's a pothole. This is a horrible road. I don't know how much that metaphor makes sense. When I first heard it, it made sense to me, and now I repeat it, and each time I repeat it, it becomes worse and worse until it will eventually one day not make sense at all.
No, again,
I
it's
think
like
it's a good metaphor. I think you just need to have a little more confidence in it.
I stole it from someone, but I don't know who. Or maybe it was a book. Man, I used to read. Those were the days. I'd read, and then I'd say a smart thing and pretend it was mine. Oh, hello, kitty.
I don't usually do a lot of reading anymore, but the last book I read was Dune.
Nice. The last book I read that I actually enjoyed was Into the Deep by Rivers Solomon, and it's one of my favorite books now.
Do either of you have any other insights or observations to make before we close this episode out for now?
Um, Tomatoes, am I right? No, I don't. Do you want to plug your stuff? Socials or anything? I mean, this is Patreon, so in theory, anyone who's listening to this episode already knows my information because they've stalked me. No. Kitty!
I don't really have any socials to plug, but I will say I do have a friend who has, if I'm allowed to,
Oh, yeah, go
of
for
course.
it. Go for it.
I have a friend who has a novel, The Fealty of Monsters, coming out March 12th, 2024. It is a heavily erotic vampire novel set in 1910s Imperial Russia towards the fall of the Russian Empire. I I was a ARC reader and I provided a blurb and a review for it, and I personally think it's a very good piece of work, and I think they would be very, very happy for you all to check it out.
That sounds really cool. I love myself a vampire. I love myself a Twilight. I love myself a Morbius. I love myself a Dracula. I love myself a Nosferatu. That sounds awesome. How are you, Tower?
Yeah, my main project is available to read on WordPress and Tumblr. Um, on the Valiant Warriors. Let me double check again. It can be read on Tumblr at Valiant Warrior Squadron Project.tumblr.com.
Cool.
And Valiant Warrior Squadron.wordpress.com.
Yay! That was fun. I'm glad we did this. I hope you guys had
That
fun
sounds
too.
like a really interesting project.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a bunch of super soldiers and giant monster women fighting against an international neo-Nazi terrorist organization.
Awesome.
Sounds ripped from the headlights, my man.
There was a, let's just say there was uh, the 2017 Tiki Torch neo-Nazi incident in Virginia inspired some parts of it.
Oh boy. Tomatoes, am I right? Okay, bye. I'm gonna stop the recording. Say bye, everybody.
Goodbye, Echo. Hope you have a really good evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for having me as well.
Bye.
I have to go eat for the first time today.
Oh no, eat more often.